So, got a floorboard made up now with the wooden rudder pedals. And they're only 1/4 inch thick, but I guess if you really try, you might break it. It's aircraft ply, and it's It's the 5-layer plywood. And so is the new floor. I cut one out at 1/8 inch like it says in the plans, but when I put my feet on it, it's sagging under, you know, there's no strength. So I picked up this 1/4 inch aircraft ply, actually from the model airplane shop. And it is aircraft ply. So I think it's a North American stuff. Yeah, but it's nice plywood. Yeah. So this is all laid out. Get all the holes drilled, as you can see, and it's of course I got these all marked. Now I get to put this in place in the fuselage and drill these 2 holes. I haven't decided yet how I'm going to fasten this down. The plans say to use to glue it in, but then you get that compartment there, right? Not all that fussy about that. So what I did do is put a framework in the floor here, 3/4 by 3/4. And because the idea of running screws into the bottom longerons didn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy, I put another piece on the side here. So when I put the floor in, I'm probably going to screw it in. Then the screws will go into those rather than screwing into anything in the structure. Yeah. And then I can remove the whole thing if I have to. Yeah. Because then you get this space here. If you glue that sucker in, I don't know. I'd rather remove it like the Bowers Flybabies, they just screw them in. So I had these 30-second ply shims on the edges there just to help center that. I do have to give this corner a little touch up here. It's off. Just about touching the plywood wall, but other than that, she looks good. Yeah. So I get the rudder pedals installed, and now I gotta make up the brackets. There's a bracket for the cable attachment I gotta make up here. It's kind of 290s on it, so I'll make that up. And the forward part sticking out will be for the bungee to keep the tension on the rudder pedals. I'm probably going to get the low profile washer head Phillips screws for this, just for clearance. The hinge was supposed to go the other way, but then I think the rudder pedals would be too far forward, so. And I don't think it matters. They're stainless steel hinges with stainless steel pins. They will do the job. And the most of the load actually goes on the cable anyway, so won't be too much on this little airplane. Now, even if it had a top view, so here's the thing here, and there's the dimensions. And you can see the 3/4 tab here, and three-quarter tab here, and he's going to be a bit of a head scratcher to figure this out. And then here on the rudder pedal, it just shows one bolt. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm at the bracket stage of things, and I'm running into a little bit of a confusion again. It says to make these 5 inches long, 3/4 bend. I want to go a full inch just so I can get my turnbuckle on there and have lots of room. So I added 1/4 of an inch to make up for the thickness of this thing. One of the questions I got is, why is this 5 inches long? It says 3/4, 3/4, and then 3/4 out. One bolt holding it on. Yeah, so why is this thing 5 inches? It's a little screwy. It's like some of the stuff is pretty hard to follow in this thing. Yeah, I can't see putting that much load on that one little spot. You want to spread it across the whole pedal, so that makes sense now. It makes sense now. Then there's another tab supposed to stick out, so your bungee or your spring, your cable tension spring can go on there. So I gotta figure out the written instructions just say make it according to the plans. So the plans are saying 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. But why is this 5 inches? So things that make you say, So I'm going to go ahead and assume you're going to want to spread that load right across that rudder pedal, which would make sense to me. And I'm going to be 1/4 of an inch shy, but I don't think that makes a big difference. We'll go like that, and I'll use 2 bolts to hold that pedal on. Again, I got a bunch of washer head screw and screws coming, so that'll fix that problem. So now to get that fingered out, I'm just going to take a little bit of a corner off there, so that bend fits around that wood nice and tight. Probably overkill, I know, but hey, for the 1 or 2 minutes this takes, why not? Oh yeah, nice and snug, beautiful. Now, do some drilling. There you go, 1 bolt in, clamped it right where I want it. I'll get started and just get the hole started, act like a center punch sort of, and then start bending up the next one. There. Now naturally I'm going to have the washer head screws there. Bolts on the back, hook your spring in there. Make sure, I always have to make sure I get the proper one, because you need your cable on the outside. So this is a right hand pedal. The cable will be on the right. That's it. One down, one more to go. So I went and got some of these washer head screws I was telling you about. That's what they look like. I think that's a AN525 number, 525 dash, depending on the size. So two ways I was going to do it, just put the screw on without the big washer. And you see, it doesn't protrude that much, so it may be a good idea just to use it. But the nice thing about these washer head screws is the profile is nice and low on them. Yeah. What I am finding is these tend to be a little fatter for some reason. Might have to go up to a number 12 drill bit. That one fits okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to chase them all with a number 12. Yeah, that worked out pretty good. I flipped these around. Initially I had the thread sticking out here, and I did decide to go with the washers, as you can see. I just nipped off this one and this one to fit inside the cable bracket. Still, it's not going to be to the point where it's going to catch your feet or anything. It's not like your feet are sliding up and down on these things. So, yeah. So I should have them sitting like this. Hopefully that's enough throw. What's nice about how this is set up is I drilled through these 3/4 inch piece. If I hook the rudder up, which I'll do temporarily, so I make sure I get enough pedal here. You do want them slope forward a bit, is because I'm not drilling through anything structural. I can move them back 3/4 of an inch, no problem, just by gluing 2 more pieces of 3/4 under the floor, which is removable. Yep. And then just probably hardwood dowel these holes that I already put in here and just glue them in. And that'll plug the holes.